everyone, welcome back to KO.
I'm Kiefer.
And I'm Ollie. This is part 4. I keep getting it wrong of which part it is, but part 4 of our monthly redraw challenge.
I'm actually gonna go through the different drawings now just to prove.
Yeah, so it was the big bird.
Big bird.
And then
Princess. Clown lizard.
I hate that one.
And
yeah, which you will see in a bit. Yeah. Right, so we will keep this short and sweet, and you will. Sorry, I'm swinging my chair around and it just came into frame. Whee!
First.
Whee!
Out the way.
Oh.
So before we start our time lapses, we're going to show you the overall.
Yeah. If you don't know what's going on as well, if this is your first monthly redraw challenge that you're watching, we basically just do a drawing together, which you'll see the time lapse for. We basically take it in turns, drawing different things. So normally it starts with your sketch,
Yes.
then I draw with bold lines, I guess, what I see in that.
And I try and add definition.
Yeah.
Those bold lines.
Yeah, and then I add the colour, and then you do extra bits. So basically we just keep bouncing off each other what we want to do to this drawing, and it turns out really unhinged sometimes.
Yeah, because we get to the point where we just decide, sod it, it's too much.
Yeah. So this one I think has been the strangest yet, because it's like a big amalgamation of everything. I did write out the full name of it before.
You seriously think this is stranger than the stripper bird you came up with? Or a giant robot princess? Every one of these is unhinged.
Okay, maybe the first one was the most unhinged, but I feel like this one's just got so many elements to it. It's a mix of so many things. Normally it's like two things come together. Big stripper bird, that's two things. Robot princess, that's two things. Last one, who knows. This one I did write out the full title, let me just get it up. Right, so this is its full name. Giraffe, horse, dragon, Pac-man, clown, something deed, thing, dude. I'm not going to read out the full name because I forgot that was part of it. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the time lapses. I think that this is one of the weirdest joint drawings that we have done so far. It started fairly normal as a horse kind of build, and then I gave it a worm neck and a Pac-Man head. And then we decided to give it some clown aspects, and then Kiefer added some spikes, and then wings, and then it ended up being this weird amalgamation. A worm, giraffe, horse, dragon, Pac-Man head with clown. I don't understand it. It's a very strange one, but this is what happens when me and Kiefer draw together.
Now, first things first, while this creature does have similar structure and form to dragons, however loosely that may seem, this creature is actually a golem, and its story, like many of the creatures of this realm, is a sad one. There was a time in our history when circuses were very common and were enjoyed by the masses on a near daily basis. They were a form of entertainment where people would have the chance to see performers on the trapeze, throwing knives or acting ridiculously dressed as clowns. But one of the main drawing points was the inclusion of animals and beasts. As the number of circuses grew, there became more competition. Different troupes would resort to new shows, larger acts, and more dangerous feats. But the most well-known of these troupes were the ones that had the rarest and most exotic animals at their disposal. People loved this, seeing the likes of P.T. Barnum or the Ringling Sisters, knowing that they would put on some of the most amazing and spectacular shows, with chimera tamers and dragon riders, and strongmen who would lift mountain trolls, along with a plethora of non-magical animals that they had at their disposal, on display all across the sites. What nobody seemed to notice was how bad the animals were being treated, and what having them in captivity was doing to their numbers. Many animals became even rarer, and more guests would walk through the doors under the impression that this might be the last time they ever got to see the Tartugan mammoth or the Ranathoth hydra. But nobody seemed to be caring as much about the lesser animals, such as the elephants, giraffes, or bears the circuses had plucked from their homes. One individual who did understand the true nature of these circuses was a man by the name of Claude Barrack, who aimed to stop the pain of these animals by creating a cruelty-free version of the circus. Rather than having animals plucked from the natural habitats, he created numerous golems that had the tendencies of the animals they were modelled after, rather than hurting the real thing. These creatures would be able to perform the same tricks with no pain or risk. These creatures didn't need feeding in the same way the animals did. They didn't need to be caged, and if he could make these other circus owners see what they were doing was wrong, he could help the animals' populations flourish once more. For a while, he made exact copies of the animals he was trying to defend, but nobody believed him that he was doing anything different to the other troops. He tried to show them, but the customers would just move to another circus, one that they thought was more exciting or had a more unique range of animals, which is what gave him an idea. Following from this, he realised that he needed something that would draw customers away from the other shows, so that's what he did. For one night, he held a promotion where any child that bought a drawing of a creature that they had designed could get free entry for them and their families. He began to sow the seeds for a plan that would change the world. Every week following from that promotion, there would be a new golem based on the child's drawing. Not only were the children getting excited seeing their drawings on stage, but the parents would be drawn in after learning more about what Barrack was trying to do. Some of the wealthier visitors would even pay towards advertising the circus, claiming it was an honourable venture and they wanted to help in any way they could. Barrack's circus flourished, and some of the smaller companies even paid to replace their animals with creatures designed by their visitors. Animals were being taken back to their natural habitats, and any establishment that continued to perform with anything other than golems was shunned by everyone in the community. Barrack's message was being heard, but not everyone who heard was happy with the change. Word had found its way to the ears of the poachers and smugglers who had been supplying the exotic species, and for the last few years they had been living like royalty, with more staff, more clients, and more work. On hearing of the changing dynamics, they approached the likes of P.T. Barnum and the Ringling Sisters, who had also lost money as a result. On that night's show, Barrack decided to show off the golem he had created based on his daughter Lydia's drawing. It was a dragon loosely based on the Rothschild giraffe. Its neck and tail were designed to look like a series of interconnected spheres, with an almost spherical head placed at the neck's end. Its eyes were bright blue, and it had a bright white smile. Its legs were thicker, and each ended with large hooves similar to a horse. It had hearts on its shoulders and was dressed in a purple waistcoat, red tie, and spotted purple and red party hat. Anyone who saw this creature could have easily worked out it was based on a child's drawing. He let the creature run in a circle in the centre of the stage, and the crowd roared in excitement at the new creature. But Lydia jumped up out of her seat, ran to her father, and jumped into his arms, embracing him. A few moments later, however, the festivities and joy turned to horror. A single guest came running through the entrance of the large purple and red circus tent, screaming in agony as his clothes burned and his skin melted. He had accidentally ran into the curtain, setting the tent and its beams alight. Screams echoed as visitors rushed to the exits, some being crushed by wooden pillars and others being trampled in the commotion. A pillar fell and landed on Barrack, daughter still in his arms, and they toppled to the ground. His waist became trapped and the Giragon rushed to help its creator. Barrack struggled for a moment, but looked down at his daughter, lying on the ground, unconscious, with a slight raising of her chest showing she was okay, but needed medical attention. He then looked back at the dragon, before pulling a piece of paper and a pen from his pocket on his chest. He wrote these instructions. Protect Lydia. If anyone tries to hurt her, make sure she is safe. Take her to the healer and then hunt down whoever burnt down our circus. He slotted the note into the creature's mouth, and the creature carried out the instructions, picking Lydia up by her shirt and placing her on its back. The creature took mental note of every person it saw with torches and weapons, as they slaughtered the golems and killed many of the guests as to not leave evidence. The Giragon raced past everything and took Lydia to the healer. Half an hour passed, and the healer patted the Giragon on the head and told it that she was okay. It rushed back to the site of the fire, hoping to complete its second task. Unfortunately, by the time the creature returned, it was already too late. All that was left was a few bodies and rags that had been the tent. However, this didn't mean that the creature's task was complete. It remembered the face of everyone that was there, whether they were guests or the arsonists, and started. The creature's eyes became red and its body warped with the years, making it appear more feral and monstrous. Bodies started appearing and nobody knew why, as they appeared almost random, but the reality was that the Giragon was continuing to hunt the people who had killed its creator, and as the years went by, it began hunting the ancestors and family of those people, one by one. A few other golems did make it out, hunted by the poachers but escaping into the forests and valleys. They too have begun the mission of hunting those who will burn down the circus, but only the Giragon truly understood what Barak wanted.
I wasn't too sure where I was going to start with this drawing because it's such a weird character that we'd drawn together. So I just started by looking at some horse references and I found one on its hind legs and I thought, yes, I'll use that pose to build off of. I wanted it a bit more turned around as well so you could see the little waistcoat outfit thing that I'd put on it. I did flip it the other way, so yes, the heart tattoo is on the wrong arm, well, leg, but it's fine. He can just have one on each arm and then it's still canon to the original drawing. When I was drawing it, it really didn't seem that disturbing, but looking back, it is quite horrifying to look at, especially if you look directly in the face. It's very unsettling. But although it is such a weird thing, I'm kind of proud of it. I hope you like it too. What have you done to this giraffe horse thing? I want to know what it is. Oh, I like it. I like that a lot. Ooh, like all the skin's kind of like warped, isn't it?
Yeah.
And wrapped around him. I would not like to be trod on by those hooves.
No.
Oh, I like it. Like the surroundings. What's the setting for this?
Burnt down circus tent.
Oh, like in a hell of a boss.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Well done.
Thank you. Your turn.
My turn. You
Let's
ready?
have a look.
Ta-da!
Oh. Oh. That's both creepy and ooh. I like it.
You like it?
We've both gone for like an SCP thing though.
I don't know what I went for.
You've gone for Yarnaby.
Yeah. It looks like Yarnaby. Face-wise.
Yeah.
Do you like it though?
Yes, I do.
Yay.
It's unhinged.
Better than last month's.
Yeah.
I hate last month's so much. It makes me want to cry.
You added the grunge again, haven't you?
I have. I like the grunge now. It's like a signature thing for me.
Fair enough. So.
I love doing that.
Yes, Ollie, just throw your tablet on the floor.
It meant to go on my ottoman, but then it just that scared me. Luckily there's a rug. And I got the case on. So it's okay.
Yes.
Who do you think did better this time?
Yeah, let us know in the comments who you think did better.
I feel like it's pretty I don't know. I feel like we've both done. I feel like we've both done okay at this one.
Yeah.
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 So we'll leave
It
it up
was
to you to
definitely
decide.
just, yeah. It was a weird one to try doing.
Yeah. The what was the full title again? Giraffe, horse, dragon, Pac-man, clone, something bead, thing, dude. The next video will be Thunderbolts. I haven't seen it, but you have.
Yes, I have, and I'm guessing all of you would have seen this by now. The fact it's not called Thunderbolts anymore.
That is really weird how they've done that. I like it though. Good marketing strategy.
So, next time, we'll be drawing the new Avengers.
As
Dragons.
yay! I can't draw dragons.
You've done it once before.
I suppose that one was kind of a dragon.
Yes, that was a dragon.
I
You've just drew a
drew
dragon.
a dragon and I said I can't draw dragons.
Anyway,
Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you
in the
in the
next video.
video.
Bye.
Bye.